Hello, folks. Long time no see. Welcome to another open chat. I'm your host, obviously, Tiffany Daniels, and I got my Deadpool gear on. In case you're wondering, it says I love tacos. Reasons. We'll get into fangirling here in just a moment, but before we go full on Marvel nerd, let's, as usual, while I'm waiting for people to trickle in case they do trickle in, complain about the job, right? Okay, so folks, Way Day is coming. Now, whereas that is a happy occasion for you customers, for us poor fucks who have to man the phones during massive sales like Way Day, it is sheer unadulterated nightmare fuel. So before we go into that god awful bunch of sales that will be happening probably starting circa Friday, just in case you want to save us poor fuckers who have to actually take the calls. Sorry, we curse on this channel. For the love of God, if it's out of stock and does not have a date, do not call to plug up the phone lines. For us to repeat to you that out of stock means out of stock. If you put your name in the notification, it will let you know when it comes in. Do not plug up the phones. Hi, Rob Rules. Good to see you. Got my Deadpool gear on. God, that trailer. That trailer. Holy hell. You have no idea. Made my entire day yesterday, but we'll get into that in a minute. But if you can tell, I'm excited. Holy crap. Woo! Anyways, so for those of us who have to work call centers, for the love of God, do not call it regards to something that's out of stock. If it has a date, it will be on the website. If it is not on the website, we do not have it. Do not take up the phone space. Number two, for the love of God, if you're going to be calling in, especially during a major sale, know what it is the hell that you're wanting to purchase. Do not expect us to be able to figure out a guess game for you. We are not psychic. Yes, it is our website. There is millions of products. None of us has that product list memorized. Know what you want, know what you're calling for, get in, get out, okay? All right. Not hot and bothered. See, when I was about circa 10 years old, EB Tiffany, her big brother, that she essentially idol worshipped as a kid, started letting her read some of his Marvel comics, as well as bursting in every day and yelling Metallica rules, but that's besides the point. And I got to have these comics. And I fell madly in love with them, but even though I liked some of the stuff that DC had, like my heart and soul was with Marvel and still is. Which is why I'm still pissed that they completely sideswipe the whole Galactus narrative, but I've already gone off on that on this channel. It still boggles me why the hell the Eternals were introduced into the MCU if they're not yet going for the Galactus storyline, because it makes no coherent sense, but I've already gone off on that. But that trailer, though, has anybody else seen that trailer? Holy. It's like everything I've been wanting to see from Marvel since Endgame, that I've been horribly, horribly disappointed in, just essentially watching Marvel wash itself down the drain. And yes, those of us who are Deadpool fans, my brother, myself, my mom, who has a massive crush on Ryan Reynolds, which is still weird to me because weirdness. I'm sorry. Not my type. The point is, like, everybody has lost their minds because we've been watching this. My mom watched WandaVision and she went with me to Multiverse of Madness, and we've watched this just horrible lull with Marvel. And then everything that's been wrong with Marvel for so long seems to not be in that trailer. I'm just saying. Whereas I would rather pick the man's brain. Bromances are beautiful. Like, that's the kind of person I would want to be my friend. I would need to be besties. You know, Paul likes to call it those people you get platonic crushes on, where there's nothing physical there, but you feel a desperate need to be that person's new bestie. I don't know, I like the term. But yeah, that whole thing was fire. Hugh looks great. Can we talk about the suit for a minute? Because okay, I'm old and I grew up and I used to watch those X-Men cartoons when I was a kid along with my brother. My favorite was Storm. My favorite still Storm. But you get and his was Wolverine, of course. But to see him in that suit, that classic comic Wolverine suit, it's such a little thing, but what it means to those of us who love the canon and have since we were kids, it made a lot of people happy. There was some inside jokes that you have to be a comic book nerd to know, like you all saw Beachfield's feet. See, that is the last name of an individual that helped create the character of Deadpool, who was very famously within the comic book community known for having repeatedly said about his difficulty of drawing feet. So to have that legs feels just feet in there. That was gold. That was sheer gold. Granted. I know Disney does, but I still refuse to get Disney Plus. I'm aware that I'm stubborn and probably a dinosaur, but I don't care. I just know I refuse. Disney cannot take my money. I'm sure I will catch it though from somebody else. I'll catch clips of it. More than likely, from what I've seen, it's very, very good. And I know I'm still giving Disney my money by getting all the Deadpool merch. I'm still not getting Disney Plus. Sorry, Rob. I don't know. I have a thing. I refuse to get Disney Plus. I get teased about it. No, my love of Marvel has absolutely nothing to do with him. In fact, my love of comics and everything and Deadpool and all of that has been going on long before I became one of the folks that watched his films. I caught Edward Scissorhands when I was a kid because it was on, not because I was seeking it. I did love it and made a great deal to me, and I eventually had a copy of it, but it wasn't something that I actively pursued. Okay, with Disney Plus, my disagreements with Disney, let's put it bluntly, it has to do with my work within the disability movement. Okay? There's a lot of there's some bad blood. And Autism Speaks is involved. because when are they not? So it actually really has nothing to do with JD. It's an ongoing thing. I just, yeah, no. If you are going to literally willingly put yourself forward to raise money for an organization that has openly encouraged eugenics, I'm going to buy as little of your streaming services as humanly possible. It's a personal thing. That, in my feud with Autism Speaks, will probably never die. All right, but yeah, I know Disney has the new cartoon. I've heard good things about it. More than likely, I will catch it another way. Probably through Redbox. Once that's been come out to DVD rotation, I will probably go ahead and stream, just binge watch the whole thing, but do it through Redbox. They're still getting revenue, but at least it's not directly from me, if that makes any sense. I do the same with the merch. I'm not getting it directly from Disney. That's for damn sure. But yeah, speaking of, so just saying, that whole trailer was absolute freaking fire. I loved everything about it. Did anybody notice that there was a character in there that we have not seen in any of the Marvel material, either older or newer? We got a new villain who's an old character. And yes, I'm going to do some spoilers for you. So then the villain of the Wolverine and Deadpool is Cassandra Nova. Cassandra Nova is actually the twin sister of Charles Xavier. The whole story arc between the two of them was that Xavier tried to strangle her and kill her in the womb. She is the new villain. She has very similar powers. She also has some telekinetic ability. And yeah, she's a hell of a villain. And she looks great. She looks absolutely great. She looks strong as a villain. She doesn't look cartoonish. They did her well, and they could have done her so bad. They could have really done her dirty. Granted, I'm going off a trailer here, but I like to see them bring in these lesser known Marvel characters because some of them are really brilliant with fascinating backstories, like Cassandra Nova. But to the big JRC news, kids. And I've been sitting on it for 3 weeks, so my apologies with that. I haven't been up and up like I have been, but in my defense, there's been a multitude of things going on multiple fronts since the news went past. So, the FDA has finally, after 3 long, long years, has once again started up the process to reissue the ban on the GED. Now, this is coming with interesting timing because this is just while the JRC has got its hand caught with its in the cookie jar, because there's been, how do I say this? Not a whistleblower, but kind of similar, to allow us to let us know that the JRC was suing the FDA because they were looking to reissue and redo the ban. So they have started work on reissuing the ban. The problem is we're going through the exact same process twice. Here's my issue with that. We've already had the hearings. We've already had survivors come forward risking everything, waiving their HIPAA rights so that they can make sure that the FDA could get their hands on the medical documentation that was backing their stories up. So the question is, why do we have to reintroduce all the established facts all over again? That seems like a monumental waste of time, and the JRC is going to argue on literally everything because that's kind of their MO. They're going to argue everything. They're going to mince words. They are going to literally argue about the placement of the word the, because I've seen them do it. Literally the word the. I wish I was kidding. What I'd like to see is a reissue, a proposal of the ban without having to backtrack and do everything we've done from the years of 2014 to 2020. That seems like a massive loss of time. I would reissue the evidence that has already been established and redo the ban within the parameters that the other judges have set. So we're not looking at another overturn in another 2 years. I don't know how you all feel about it. I just feel like doing a whole nother series of hearings where we are literally just listening to it being regurgitated again. Why that's needed when these facts have already been established. But I just think it's a waste of time. It is an absolute difficulty on the survivors because as a disabled person, I can tell you, finding transportation, getting all that crap set up for travel takes major Herculean effort if you're a disabled person. If you are an individual who does not drive and mostly depends on public transportation, when you have to go out of where you are, especially when you're out of state like Jennifer Masumba is, and you have to now coordinate not just your hotel, but your transportation to and from, it becomes a massive pain in the ass. That you can tell I speak from experience here on that subject. So you're going to have all these people from all these different states, some of them as far as California. People who are disabled, a lot of them living on SSI. As an individual who has lived on SSI, travel funds, it is not. And to do all those hearings and go through all the same information again, I think if you feel a need that you must review the information, then for the love of God, actually look at the information. Just saying. That being said, it is good news that the FDA, in spite of the JRC's very obvious intimidation tactics, who surprised no one, that they are moving forward to reissue the ban. I just think that they need to think about it a minute and not having to rehash all the same things again. We have all the facts. We have the ER documents. We have our medical documentation has medical documentation. You know, it's literally at that point. I don't see the point in doing what has already been done. I feel like this should be just simply correcting what needs to be corrected so we can get this ban issued out as quickly as possible and get those kids the hell off of that machine should be the primary focus here. Because this has been going on far longer than it ever should have. This place should have been closed years ago. for what they got up to in California, not to be able to pass from state to state, like past the insane potato. You know, just saying. So that's happened. We're now having to deal with the fact that there's probably going to be another series of hearings that's probably going to go on for another 4 to 6 years to rehash all the crap we've already been over. I'm gonna need chamomile. I'm gonna need all the chamomile because I'm gonna watch it. That's what I do. Send hugs. Someone remind me to have my cat there. Okay. So, Rob, if you know back in about circa 2021, before the Virginia trial, how all of a sudden I had a sudden shift. And I started hitting on pretty much nothing but the JRC. We still touched the trial on occasion, but primary focus changed. What happened in that time period was in 2020, the FDA issued the ban on the JRC shock device, the one that I showed you on that video years and years ago. You all remember when that happened? What this is after the 3 years since that time period, the FDA has gone back and they have put forward another proposed ban on the GED shock device, which is fantastic. But here's the issue. The original ban was a culmination of out of 4 to 6 years of hearings going on in DC. Those hearings saw people like me waive their HIPAA rights in order to give the FDA access to medical documentation. They've come forward with their stories, their medical documentations, the psychiatrists, the psychologists, neurologists, people from the New York State Department of Education, providers, the big heads like Mike Powers from ARC, who I know personally, worked with for years, where everybody came out and they gave their professional opinion. They gave the medical documentation, they gave the video surveillance footage, but this took place over a period of 4 to 6 years. The new proposed ban, what the FDA is wanting to do, is the exact same thing over again. And I just feel like that's redundant and a waste of time. Because we've done the hearings. Disability survivors, the chairman can back me on this, transportation in a
Yes.
to and from is not the same burden as it is on everyone else. Those of us without vehicles, what we have to go through to arrange transportation to places like this, it's a Herculean effort, to put it that way.
Yeah.
It could take you days. That's all your day is consisted of, is trying to get that arranged.
Yeah.
So essentially, redoing the hearings means all the survivors kind of come in from their different states, some from as far as California, to do all the same thing again. It just seems like it's a waste of time. The facts have been established. We have the documentation. We have the video surveillance footage. It's like the JD versus AH trial again. What the hell else do you need? Do you need me to get Coyote to bring in an Acme sign? Because
It's just that the higher ups don't care.
no, but it's procedure though. I'm like, you're rehashing it for no
Fuck,
reason.
fuck procedure. Fuck procedure. I've had enough with a lot of things. I've had enough even with YouTube.
Well, I have.
Oh, They took down one of my posts. YouTube took down one of my community posts the other day.
I only get hit by YouTube when I go after Autism Speaks. I can say whatever I want about Little Miss thing, and we all know who I'm talking about, whereas everybody else gets hit. But I say one little thing against Autism Speaks, and boy, this channel get hit. Holy crap.
Well,
I've had
well,
lives pulled.
I told all my YouTube haters in a community post to go burn and wither to dust, and they said, "Oh, that's against our YouTube policy." And I'm like, "Really? What they do to me is not, but what I want to say is, okay, fine." So I just reposted it and worded it a little differently. If you want to pull up my page and look at my latest post, you
Right.
can go ahead and do that. If someone wants to pull that up and put it in the chat, if you got a wrench.
But yeah, that's what I think it's stupid. It's a waste of time. And I'm tired of us forcing those kids to wait and be tortured and wait and be tortured and wait for all this bureaucracy and pencil pushing when it's already been done. The work has
Like
been
I
done.
said, that they don't care. They do not care about us. They do not care. All they care about is money.
Hello, Echo Spice. Good to see you.
That's all they care about is the bottom dollar.
So the good news is they are working on the proposed ban. The interesting news is, as they're working on it, the JRC decided they were going to sue them for daring to try to reissue the ban. But we've gone over
Really?
that. I have the complaint. The only reason why I haven't gone over it in detail yet is I'm still going over the final ban from 2020, which is somehow extended into infinity. Because I'm like on
Jesus Christ.
video 129 and I'm still not through that document. It's the document that never ends.
How many pages is that document?
I have no idea. But it's from a government website, so there's no page numbers. It's just
Oh,
nothing but text. No page
oh,
breaks, nothing.
Jesus Christ. So it's probably 1,000 pages long then. Probably 1,000 pages long. If it's from the government, it's about 1,000 pages.
Usually is, and Missouri's really bad about that. Always has been.
Most of the bills that they make in the government are usually 500 pages long, if not longer.
But anyways, getting back to the fun stuff, because we do more doom and gloom on this channel than I'm happy with. Have you seen the Wolverine Logan trailer? I mean, the Wolverine and Deadpool.
No, I have not.
If you wish to cheer yourself, that'll do it. It looks fire. And my brother and I have been planning to go since Christmas. So, like, it's his job to get the tickets.
Uh,
So I had to buy the merch, of course, because
yeah,
God, it looks amazing. And the storyline and it's way more than what I expected from a Deadpool film. And I say this as a massive Deadpool fan.
yeah,
It was more like the classic MCU that we had, up till Endgame.
yeah,
It's like Ryan read all the crap about what Marvel has been doing recently and decided that I'm not going to be doing any of that.
yeah,
Saw it as things not to do.
yeah. I just dropped my channel in the chat. If anyone wants to go look at my post, if anyone wants to go look at my post that I made for all my YouTube haters.
But yeah, no, but I know it's kind of spoiling it, but it has to do with its multiverse, which I was kind of shocked to see in a Deadpool film, but I guess I shouldn't be too surprised.
Oh, hey Rob, I didn't see it there. Sorry.
And it was a Logan, a Wolverine that failed his world because he didn't do his thing. It essentially turned into Mad Max.
Huh.
And Wade apparently has been multi traveling, which should surprise no one with that little belt thing of his. That's canon. That's been there for years.
Yeah.
Besides the
Um.
point,
Are you gonna go see the Furiosa movie, the Mad Max spinoff?
I have no yin to no.
No. I thought about it, but I'm not sure if I would really want to see that or not.
No, but I am definitely because it looks just fantastic. It. I hope it lives up to the hype. And I don't care but what the critics have to say about it. The critics haven't gotten anything right since King of the Monsters. They told us all that it was horrible and there wasn't enough human story. I'm like, you obviously do not understand kaiju films or kaiju film fans.
Yeah.
It's like nobody is coming to these comic book movies or movies like Godzilla trying to learn life lessons. We
Yeah.
get
No
that.
kidding.
All day, every day, we're bombarded with that crap. We go to movies like Godzilla, like Deadpool, like these comic book movies to get out of our
Because it's
heads for
fantasy.
5 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it's fantasy. We don't want any more reality than we already have.
There's enough drama in real life for everyone.
Yes. No kidding.
Now,
And I have a rogue moderator on my channel that I accidentally gave a moderator wrench to, a managing moderator wrench to, and I can't even make a live stream without him banning everyone for a day. And I can't get rid of this son of a bitch because I don't have a PC or a laptop.
maybe, I don't know, make me a wrench. I'll take them out.
Well, I made him a moderator, a managing moderator, so I don't even know if you can do that.
I'll try to figure
So,
it out. I got a bunch of crap I have to look at, but
oh,
I've been in preparation for way days. Please, somebody shoot me and put me in the hospital so I can tell my boss, I'm sorry, I can't help you.
I'll try and make another live stream sooner or later, and don't know when. 'Cause I just haven't felt up to it because I've been going through a lot of shit.
No, a lot of us are lately. And me, it's been an absolute dealing with massive info overload over the last few days. I have people sending me articles on complete different subjects, but things that I'm a part of, such as what's going on in Canada now, doing the Netherlands thing of euthanasia for autistic people.
Yeah,
I, and I've been getting bombarded with that. I've been bombarded with what the UK has just done in regards to how they're trying to force people who are disabled to work, but at the same time, simultaneously has removed all goddamn funding in
yeah.
regards to supports being in place in the workplace so that they can work. And that's been a major fallout that has pretty much monopolized what small amount of free time I actually have.
Man, I am so tired of Taco Bell, of ordering Taco Bell and them screwing up my order every time.
There's this Walmart that I have an ongoing feud with. And the reason why is because within a single like month time frame,
Yeah.
they got the delivery sent to the wrong apartment 5 times.
5 times? Oh my god.
At that point, I'm like, I have Instacart. Screw you.
Yeah.
They've never ever at any point have delivered my item in the to the wrong place.
Yeah.
Yet Walmart, who lives here, I know the person who owns that particular store, somehow manages to always get it wrong. Ugh.
They probably get it wrong on purpose because they're probably friends with AH and the JRC.
I don't know. So I'll dox
I
myself
wouldn't be
because
surprised. I would not be surprised.
I don't care. There is no such thing as doxing me. I'm a semi known figure and everybody knows where I live. So I don't care. Springfield, Missouri is considered Brad's hometown. Pitt,
Hmm.
he's from here. He went to Kickapoo High School. That's where he graduated from. His family's here. They own houses. There's one just like not even half a block from me down that way.
Damn. Awesome.
This town does not handle any slander thrown in his general direction.
Huh.
Like, if you want to piss off the entirety of this city, talk smack on that guy. It's like obnoxiously obscene how over defensive they are when it comes to him. So, for another Miss Thing who's trying to pull something, I don't see the people of this town backing her up at all. In fact, I've seen nothing but the polar opposite, in spite of the fact that on every other single subject, they actually agree with MSN.
Yeah. Oh, I took down my Discord channel.
Yeah, you told me that.
Yeah, I took it down. I was like, I'm just getting tired of this, and just got rid of it.
I'm just tired of the absolute idiocy. So I had to make a point, as I generally do,
Yeah.
with people because they mentioned the fact that Brad has not been run through the coals the way JD is. I'm like, you should start thinking about that, little AH stand, shouldn't you? Why are they only targeting certain types of men?
Yeah.
And what are those things that those men have in common? Now
Huh.
look up neurodivergent traits.
Yeah.
It's like alphabet.
Well, I know I pegged that damn test like a motherfucker. As a high functioning autistic.
Doesn't surprise me. We tend to flock towards our own, either consciously or not so consciously.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, no. They're not necessarily on his side,
Hmm.
but they're definitely not on her side. They
Yeah.
believe when I mean they're not on his side, I mean they're not obnoxious, obsessed
Yeah.
fans.
Yeah. Yeah.
They believe he's innocent.
Yeah.
And they're annoyed that there's still a debate going on, which is the majority of the real world.
I'm surprised that there's still a debate going on with Johnny Depp.
So is my mom. Because
I
remember,
mean, goddamn, it's been what, 2 years now
medical
since the.
personnel, for her, the whole thing was completely made clear in regards to the whole he stomped on my ribs with freaking combat boots.
Oh, if he had done that, she wouldn't be alive.
Remember, my mom's a bone specialist, radiologist. She's like, if he, with those type of boobs, would have stomped on her ribs, it would have shattered them, and she would have been lucky if she didn't die within the second of it taking place.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
literally, with the type of the boots, if he was stomping on her, he could have stomped all the way through and straight to the internal organs with the weight and force that she was describing.
Give me a break.
And then I'm to believe not only did she survive that,
That
but
she doesn't have any permanent
but
problems.
following day, I can move around like wacky, wild, inflatable tube man. That's literally all she needed to know. She's like, yeah, this woman's full of shit.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Oh
That's all
yeah.
she needed to know. The rest of it was just like,
Yeah. If he had punched her with all those rings on his hand, she wouldn't have a face. She wouldn't even have a face.
no,
So
and I've had them ask me because they've come like, on every other subject, you're on our side. I'm like, I'm actually not, but go on. Let's hear you're stupid.
yeah.
So you're psychotic for not supporting her. I'm like, if I seem to agree with you on every other subject but this one, the logical person would then wonder why. And what did I know that they didn't?
Yeah.
But we're not dealing with people who deal in logic.
No, you're dealing with people who believe in fantasy and everything else.
Ugh. This is what we deal with now, folks. We
Yep.
literally live in a world now where logic, reason, intellectualism, intellectual curiosity, and scientific pursuits are being demonized.
Hmm.
That should scare the out of you. It really should. And the fact of the matter is Republicans, Democrats, it's both. It's
Yeah.
both. Everything we see on the Senate floor is theater.
Yes. Most freaking definitely.
I know this because I've been behind those closed doors multiple times. Where things get done is not on the Senate floor, it gets done on that little drinking meeting that happens after the
Yeah.
performance.
Hmm.
I know because I would have to wait and I'd catch them at these little lounges. And
Hmm.
that's where we were able to catch them and manage to get shit done.
Hmm.
But yeah, that's its own topic. I have no use for either side because neither side have use for me. Well, I shouldn't say that.
Yeah.
They certainly don't mind exploiting my ass, which they did early when I first got started until I was able to be smart enough to realize what was going on.
Yeah.
Mom helped with that.
Yeah.
She's she's not autistic and see crap that people are getting up to that I can't always see.
Yeah.
So like, by the way, you should know she didn't come to a lot of those, but the stuff that was local,
Yeah.
the parent groups I would go to speak to where she had to provide the transportation,
Hmm.
and because she's where I get the whole observing thing from.
Yeah.
But anyways, it's I can't take it. It's any form of intellectualism is being demonized. Drag queens are being demonized. Especially when it comes from this state is particularly funny because we've always had drag queens here, especially in my city.
Hmm.
In fact, it has been a tourist draw in the past to draw in,
Oh,
college
gee.
kids,
Really?
drawing the college kids crowd, spring break.
Oh,
They
that's
have,
lovely.
they're not doing what they've been telling people they are doing. I know, I live here. They are not having near naked parades down
Oh
through the
my God.
downtown streets. Literally, none of that is happening. Chairman,
Jesus.
hear me. It's not happening.
I know. I believe you.
That storybook time, that individual was fully dressed. There was no pasties like they were showing all over the international news.
Oh, jeez. Oh
It
yeah,
happened
I'm sure
at
that
the
was doctored
libraries.
like a
Let's
motherfucker.
start first. Happened at the library center, one of our biggest libraries in the city. Not a
Hmm.
school. That was a lie.
Hmm.
Number two, in order to go to story time, there was waivers and all that to sign through for the parents. This
Hmm.
was not someone trying to indoctrinate the kids behind the parents' back the way they tried to play it.
Hmm.
The person was fully dressed in full Mother Goose. So hat,
Oh.
dress,
Oh God. Jesus Christ.
full up to the neck, fluffy
Oh.
collar.
Oh my God. Yes, I know Mother Goose.
So,
That's funny. That's funny.
not in any way putting any child in danger. It's just a bit of fun.
And sexual
And they've
bit, yeah.
never gone after the drag queens in town because they've never done anything. And then all of a sudden now they're attacking them. So people like me stood up for them. So what did they do? They started attacking the autistic and neurodivergent community in this city and in the state. I'm watching the rights that I fought, wielded, dealed, and drank to make happen with these bastards being eradicated in alphabetical order as revenge. Yeah.
I wonder if I got any comments on my post. Probably not. Hmm. That's anyone comment? Nope, no one's commented.
I do not spend their days playing politics. It's not fun,
No, no one ever.
especially when you literally have a diagnosis that is known to info dump truth at you.
No one ever comments on any of my posts. Weird.
And
Okay.
I hated it. But I did it. And I'd do it again. Because I'm willing to dirty myself if necessary, if it means that the next group coming up after me does not have to crawl through the shit that I did to be able to survive.
Yeah.
If I have to dirty myself to play those games, which unfortunately I found that I have a natural talent for, then that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do what it takes to get the job done. And I don't care if everyone hates me by the time I'm done with it. But they don't, though. That's what's been always mind boggling to me. Why people actually know you're actually doing a good thing. We understand why you're doing it the way that you're doing it.
Yeah.
Because nothing gets done otherwise. I've tried the other ways. I was the loudmouth. Everybody else, even Temple, they had a bit conciliatory tones. Me in the beginning, you couldn't negotiate shit. And I had to learn. I had to learn to be able to not go in guns blazing every time because more often than not, you shoot yourself in the foot. Even if the person that you have to work with is the most detestable mother on planet Earth
Oh.
that you despise with your whole soul, you better put on your best fake smile and wear your best pseudo neurotypical mask. Yeah, they liked me. This was the reason. Because I looked good and could be dressed up. I could speak well. What made me so good is I was constantly underestimated.
Yeah.
And because I got really good at playing their shenanigans, obviously, or I wouldn't have lasted as long as I did or still have contacts.
Yeah.
But it's dirty.
Yeah.
And you end up doing a whole lot of crap and smiling at people that you would just like to wipe off the face of this earth. But it got it done. And now I'm watching it being undone by
Yeah.
complete other.
Idiocy
I live in evangelical hell.
and woke ass people.
And there seems to be no in between. Because I'm in between. I see
Yeah.
a bunch of stuff in woke culture that is good and needed. I see a lot of it is nothing more than window dressing, saying pretty words so nobody gets mad at you.
Yeah, no shit.
The truth tellers are going the way of the dodo. That's why the few we still have remaining, we hold on to with a death grip. Because there doesn't seem to be any George Carlins coming up.
Nobody wants to know the truth anymore, apparently. Because they're fine believing lies and shit. As long as their world is safe, or they think it's safe, then they don't care.
As Foamy the Squirrel once said, our Lord and Master on this channel, safe space, it's planet Earth. You could go crying over your latte, and then somebody drags you to a safe space, and there's a plane crash. Bang! Plane drops on you. You're dead. It's planet Earth. The whole environment isn't safe.
Yeah, no shit. Drinking water isn't safe anymore either. Shit.
I learned that there was no safe space at an age where I shouldn't have really had that type of knowledge.
Yeah.
But I am kind of glad that I did, because at least my expectations coming out of high school did not come with the idea that the world was going to be handed to me,
Yeah.
or that the world was just going to give me money and fame and love and all that I am because I'm a special little snowflake. No,
Yeah.
I was taught that that I was going to have to work harder than everyone else, because all anybody was going to see of me was going to be a label. My mom did not tell me this. My stepdad did not tell me this to hurt me.
Mm-hmm.
They were telling me what the reality was. And it was the best goddamn thing they could have done for me. So many of us are not prepared for the just absolute levels of hatred as we come into the adult sector of our lives. Because everybody's fine when we're little and we're cute.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was prepared to work harder. And I had already been working harder starting from middle school, because I already knew.
Oh, I wish I knew, because I was oblivious to a lot of things, apparently.
Yeah, and as far as politics, yeah, I started getting engaged with it young. I didn't get full bore into it until 2006, when I first started making a name for myself. When I did the World Autism Conference out in Osage Beach.
Mm-hmm.
which was at the no longer there Tantera, which I miss. That was a fantastic resort. It had dark wooden colors and sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I love the sensory type of vibe they had going there, is all I'm saying.
Hmm.
But yeah, because it's not an easy world if you're disabled, and the people in power are doing it everything in their power to make it even more difficult. And folks, let me tell you why this euthanasia thing that is started in Canada is starting to make me nervous.
I thought that it started somewhere else.
Canada do not hate me for this, but a lot of the shit medical wise that is questionable, if you all start it first, the United States is going to watch you like, and they're going to in particular be watching the people's reaction,
Hmm. Weird.
because if it goes over well and there's not a big fuss, guess what they're going to try to push behind closed doors here.
Huh. Shit.
The problem is a twofold problem. Not only is the idea of literally a doctor agreeing to help you take your own life because of the fact that you're autistic absolutely abhorrent. There's something else, a threat that nobody's really talking about. So if we make euthanasia available to everybody that's disabled throughout the United States and in other countries, what about those services that have been put in place to act as treatment for us? For those of us who don't want to off ourselves, where do you think those are going to go?
Hmm.
All those systems, all those structures, reasonable accommodations, all the shit we have blood, sweat, and tears for over 6 decades.
Hmm. Gone.
Maybe I'm paranoid, but I could see something like that be a reasoning that someone would use to get rid of a service, if that makes sense. Maybe I'm crazy
Yeah.
and paranoid, but I fear this
No,
because
no,
I've
you're
already
not crazy.
seen.
You're not crazy or paranoid.
I've already seen it. Look at the Netherlands. It
Yep.
started there.
Yep. Yep.
Their services are getting annihilated one by one. For God's sake, look what just happened in the UK. Netherlands
What
is not that far from the
what
UK.
what happened in the UK? I missed that one.
Okay, what happened in the UK happened within the last couple of days here, and I've been watching it because everybody was expecting it. And we've all been watching it for the last 3 weeks to a month, which is what I've been doing when I'm not working or sleeping. And this asshole that is the current prime minister has
Yeah.
managed to push through a bill to force those who are disabled to work. We're including people whose physical disability literally makes that impossible.
Huh. Some bitch.
But it gets better. At the same time, and within the same bill, no less, they defunded the programs and the different funding outlets used to provide the reasonable accommodations that makes it possible for disabled people to work for you.
Jesus Christ.
So what at that point in time you create a situation where the disabled person is in an absolute no-win. But they could work from home. You work from home by a miracle of God. Did I manage to land a work from home job? It's not just something you can go out and grab.
No, no, it's not.
Not to mention all the scams. for work-at-home call center jobs is a massive plague throughout the entirety of the Indeed website. These are scammer jobs.
Huh.
Big time. And they're not available all over the place. There are far and few in between work from home call center jobs in the UK. Now, let's talk about what you need as far as internet capacity to be able to actually do that kind of job from home. Because you better have fiber.
Yeah.
These are people who are living off of Social Security. What in the name of God makes these politicians think, or the UK's equivalent of, that they're able to pull that kind of internet service they would need in order to do that job from home
Yeah.
and be able to afford to survive? You have put these kids in an absolute no-win situation. You have made things dire in a single bill. This man has created thousands of extremely desperate people, and I wonder if he'll be happy that he did. Because there's going to be a fallout. You cannot do this to that many goddamn people and expect there to be no fallout.
Yeah, but then you know what his response is going to be, right?
This is why we have to build background channels, networks, and chains so that we can provide help where we can, when we can. In particular, regards to food, the shit I've been doing the last few days, organizing any form of help we can actually be able to get past. We have those who do their crap on TikTok to inform, whether it's YouTube, TikTok, social media. I'm helping coordinate some of that.
Yeah.
Planning a form of like an informational blitz. It's one of the areas I've always been good in. Alex over there at Roam Planet is a part of it. Temple. It's an all hands on deck situation.
Sorry if my eating is too loud.
Those of us who are political, who are watching this shit in the UK and in Canada, are starting to get really, really scared. And we should be. We very much should be. This country is not known for kindness towards our general population. Whatever gets done in the UK, what gets done in Canada is watched very closely by our government. And sure enough, if there's not a massive outcry, it will start trickling in.
Great.
And we already have politicians who have never liked the disability rights community.
Oh, yeah, no shit.
And believe it or not, folks, it's not just the GOP. In fact, most of my allies out here inside the Missouri Senate have been Republicans, except for that goddamn Mike freaking Brown crazy ass. Let me tell you why. Mikey is special. This is 2 months ago on the Missouri Senate floor. I saw the footage afterwards. Defending child marriage, I shit you not.
What?
I shit you not. He's done it again within the last week. Defending and advocating for child marriage, I shit you not. This is our lives in the state of Missouri now. Can
That
somebody please help me get the hell out of here?
that's sick.
Because it's only getting worse.
That's sick.
It's getting more scary. Believe me, if I had the money, y'all would know. Because I'd be doing this live from a hotel room.
Yeah.
Preferably somewhere that isn't here. I can't
Mhm.
trust the UK anymore because that would have been where I would have gone. Because I've been there before. It's familiar to me. At this point, I'm just like, screw it. Let's just go to Japan.
California's still a good place for people with disabilities because they got Tri County Regional, which is a good program for people
We've
with
got,
disabilities.
here's the problem. Because I helped build a lot of these programs because they started early 2000s. You've got Burl, you've got Rivendell, you've got these absolutely incredible job programs that I've been advocating for years. They
Yeah.
have them through ARC and they have them through Burl that not just help you with the transition stuff, but will help you actually obtain the job.
Yeah.
Okay, jobs that could actually provide insurance because Medicaid is piss poor.
Yeah.
And they are severely underfunded. And the reason why they can't do more to improve the situation is they literally do not have the resources to be able to do so. And every single year, the Missouri state government takes millions of dollars out of the Department for Mental Health and the Division of Developmental Disabilities. Millions.
Jesus.
That circa about 2013, we were running on such a skeletal budget that, yeah, we were kind of on our own.
Jesus
I
Christ. That's
remember
like,
that because they can't be in there during my off hours volunteering to help them put pamphlets together for the next time we were going to go out and talk about the different providers we provide to parents during one of the many conferences. We had to do
Jesus.
everything by hand. Everything by hand. And we had to revise who we could take on as consumers. We literally had to, if you were considered high functioning, you got no services.
Oh,
Every
that's
service you
great.
just had is gone because there wasn't enough money to go around to care for everyone.
Great.
It had to go to what was considered either those in crisis mode or the most physically disabled because that was all the money we had left.
Jesus Christ.
And they've
Yeah.
taken more money
And
out every year.
and people say that the government is not trying to create the purge. Yeah, my ass.
Yeah, those job programs are severely underfunded. They're not advertised the way that they should be. And the only way you know that they exist is you've been a consumer at one point. And I was a consumer before I worked for them. I was the inmate taking over the asylum. I love to say that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the real truth. Watching this crap in Europe, watching it in the Netherlands, watching it come closer to Canada,
Yeah.
and watching what the UK just did. It, the future's not looking bright, kids. And I say this to be the red flag. The one waving the red flag, saying, we need you to pay attention. Don't be a keyboard warrior. We don't need any more keyboard warriors. We are millions strong. The difference about our community and like your stand community is it's not just keyboard. We exhaust ourselves. News, dealing with politicians, dealing with on the ground protests, getting together and arranging to where we can work together to write a grant. It's exhausting. And it's even more exhausting and heartbreaking when all that work is not just going down the toilet, but all the work you're going now, there's no guarantee. We're working as though we will die if we don't succeed because there might be some people who will. That's how serious it is. When you remove that type of funding, particularly for those who are physically disabled, they have done this in the UK to fucking paraplegics.
Huh.
The first community that started sounding the alarm in the UK were the advocacy groups for those who are partially or fully paralyzed.
Oh, great. People like me, partially paralyzed. Great.
It was those international groups that began it, and then people like me, we started our work because we've seen it before. We know where it goes. Eventually, it's gonna be us.
The purge is coming. Jesus.
If you want to know why disabled folks are getting nervous, well, more nervous and paranoid than what we generally already are.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying, yeah, it's good. See, that's why I love things like Deadpool and Marvel. It's an escape.
Yeah.
And I don't have many escapes.
I
don't
have any.
I have my books, I have my Lord of the Rings, I have my Marvel, I have my Tetris and Donkapon Kingdom, and my cat. And that's just pretty much it. Everything else is advocacy and call center work.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a lot to have on your shoulders. But the reason why it's there is because it's on all of our shoulders. If you're disabled, every single last one of you is going through the exact same thing I am. Some people's situations are way worse than mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know me, I can't go down without a fight.
Yeah.
And as usual, I intend to give them nothing but hell. And yes, I have gone after that freaking in the UK. I mean, for God's sake, I've gone after politicians I know face to face. Some dude from the UK, you do this, I'm gonna go off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Deadpool because that's gonna be my one moment of escape. Well, that and the Silver Dollar City trips, where I just get to go and be me without having the mask because Mom is there.
Yeah. I might try and do it live after you're off the air.
Yeah, it's getting about an hour, so we might as well go ahead and
We're
cut it
actually
out.
14 minutes after an hour. We're actually 14 minutes into an hour two.
So the good
Or
news,
almost over an hour.
folks, if you haven't seen it, go right now, stop everything that you're doing, and go look up the Wolverine Deadpool trailer. You will thank me later. God, the happy it gives me. I can't put it into words, but the comic book nerd is extremely happy. More of this, Marvel. For the love of God, just put Ryan Reynolds ahead of Marvel already and call it good.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Let it be done already.
All right.
And number 2, good news. The FDA is reissuing a proposed version of the ban. Yes, they're doing another series of having people bring information, in spite of the fact we all know it's going to be the exact same information. But the good news is they haven't dropped the ball entirely yet. They haven't just told us we tried, screw you, which is what I thought was going to happen. So I like to be delightfully shocked on occasion.
All
Kind of
right.
makes me feel that yes, it's justified for me to be jaded, but not quite as jaded as I am. Gives me that small smidgen back of belief in humanity that I tend to lose and regain, lose and regain. All right. So, folks, as always, we appreciate everyone coming in to open chat. This is what we're here for, the blow off scheme. I always put the link in the chat. You're welcome to come in, jump in the panel, say something random. Just say meow if you want to. But come in anytime, say whatever's on your mind. We always appreciate it. I will try to have one the Tuesday after this, but it's going to be Way Day. And Mom's already talking about Silver Dollar City, and I got to bug my brother about the new Deadpool movie. So,
Okay.
as everyone, as always, we hope you have a good one. We'll see you all next time. And as Deadpool says in the shirt, go get you all some tacos. Bye bye, everyone. Peace.